Tonight, terror in New Orleans. 15 dead as a car ploughs into crowds celebrating the new year. A Tesla Cybertruck explodes outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Police probing if the attacks are linked. A man shot dead by police outside Manning Base Hospital. Cheaper GP visits on the cards. The government hints at a pre-election promise. And Australia makes a vital change on the eve of the Sydney test.
This is NBN News with Tyson Cottrill.
Good evening. New Year's Eve in New Orleans has been marred by tragedy. A terrorist ramming his car into crowds celebrating, killing 15 people. Tonight, we're learning more about the man who was an American, served in its military and had links to ISIS.
Terror returns to America. New Year's Eve revellers escaping death by centimetres as the year's biggest party becomes nightmare on Bourbon Street.
What the I got this
Survivors run into nightclubs and restaurants.
I got at least maybe 12 to 15 people hit by this vehicle. Officers on Bourbon Street, stop! Headquarters, we need some EMS in here.
The screams of those girls, I mean, I don't know that I'll be able to forget that.
Real life horror movie, everything in the car is hitting, it's getting thrown.
Australians among those caught near the chaos.
Just in shock really and feel very lucky.
And at 3:15 we heard a massive bang and multiple smaller bangs afterwards, which we just thought were fireworks.
Mum was very worried. I had a lot of missed calls from her.
42-year-old Shamsud Dinjabar casually drove past a police car around a temporary safety barrier and careered down the footpath into the crowd. When his truck came to a stop, Jabbar shot at police before he was killed by return fire. His body found clad in armour, an ISIS flag with his car. Sparking fears of more explosives in other parts of the French Quarter.
A cop has called me back and explained that the area is still an active area. He's explained that they're looking for explosives.
We do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible. We're aggressively running down every lead.
42-year-old Shamsud Dinjabar is a US citizen. He had a background in military, worked in real estate.
I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch.
The mass murderer recorded videos on his path to terrorism, saying he planned to gather family and kill them, but then joined ISIS.
You will find out what happened and who was responsible, or I will raise fresh hell.
Among the victims, 18-year-old Nakira Daidu, father of two, Reggie Hunter, 28-year-old Tiger Betch and 21-year-old Hubert Gethrow. So too young mum Nicole Perez, who'd just been promoted at work.
She was going out last night with her friends, and now I'm helping family right now.
This is one of America's most iconic streets and one of New Orleans' busiest, but tonight Bourbon Street is locked down, security under scrutiny. How could a truck have driven through here when bollards should have stopped it?
This is the protection that should have been in place. It's under construction because the city will host the NFL Super Bowl next month.
We did indeed have a plan, but the terrorist defeated it.
They had the flimsy orange ones that you could just push over with your finger.
And with fears others linked to the attacker could be on the run, tonight a major college football game, the Sugar Bowl, has been postponed.
I'm leaving. This is my first time here and it'll probably be my last.
And we're learning more about the suspect's links to ISIS. With more, here's US correspondent Lauren Tomasi.
American authorities believe Jabbar was radicalised in the last few years, and in a series of videos he took inside a car, he claims to have joined ISIS. Tonight, the FBI is carrying out raids in multiple locations, including on a property in Houston, Texas, where a perimeter has been established amid concerns that authorities can't rule out whether or not this attacker was working with anyone else. We also have an update from the Department of Foreign Affairs, who believe no Australians were involved in this attack.
The FBI is also investigating whether the New Orleans attack is linked to a deadly Tesla explosion outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas. The vehicle had been carrying fireworks and fuel canisters. The friendship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk now being examined as a possible motive.
A Tesla Cybertruck erupts outside Donald Trump's Las Vegas hotel. Inside, alarms ring out. The driver killed, 7 other people injured.
I just heard a boom.
Oh my God.
Tonight, authorities are trying to find out if this was a terror attack.
It's a Tesla truck, and we know that Elon Musk is working with President-elect Trump, and it's the Trump Tower, so there's obviously things to be concerned about.
Police say the driver arrived in Las Vegas that morning, driving the strip for about an hour before the explosion about 8:40 a.m, seconds after the vehicle entered the valet at the Trump International Hotel. Fireworks and fuel canisters were found in the back of the Cybertruck. The driver has been named locally as 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. Tonight, the FBI is at a home linked to him in Colorado. Authorities are probing if there's a link to New Orleans. The driver was also a military veteran. Both cars were rented from the same online marketplace, but police stress an ISIS flag was not found in Las Vegas.
We believe this is an isolated incident. We do not believe that there's a bunch of folks out there supporting this or helping this.
Elon Musk branded those responsible evil knuckleheads. The billionaire is also aiding investigators.
I have to thank Elon Musk specifically for being able to capture all of the video from the Tesla charging stations across the country, and he sent that directly to us.
The question now, why? In the United States, Jonathan Kersley, NBN News.
Witnesses have been left shaken after a man was shot dead by police outside Manning Base Hospital on the Mid-North Coast this afternoon. Reporter Risa Utama joins me from the newsroom now. Risa, how did this all unfold?
Tyson, police were called to Wingham around 12:30 today following a concern for welfare. Shortly after, reports came through a man had fired gunshots into the air. A search of the area leading emergency services to the Manning Base Hospital car park around 1 o'clock, where a man in his 30s allegedly pointed a gun at police and was then shot by officers. They provided first aid before paramedics arrived to take him into the hospital, but he died soon after. Pulteney Street was quickly taped off as emergency services swarmed the area and Polaire circled above. VRA Rescue hanging a sheet to shield the public from the confronting scene.
Yeah, all the cops have had every exit and entrance to the hospital locked off.
No officers or members of the public were injured, and Tyson, the State Crime Command's homicide squad, has now launched a critical incident investigation.
Risa, thank you. 3 Virgin Australia crew members are tonight talking with police after they were allegedly assaulted and robbed in Fiji. Here's Sophie Upcroft with more.
Fijian police have today questioned a local suspect known to them over the alleged sexual assaults, but no charges have been laid as yet. The investigation is continuing into who is responsible for the alleged sexual assault of 2 Virgin cabin crew members and a theft suffered by their colleague while they were clubbing at Bar 1 in Nandi in the early hours of yesterday morning. The crew are reportedly in good health and currently staying at an airport hotel where they are being supported by Virgin management and their families, remaining on the island to assist police with their investigation, and they should be home by the end of the week.
An overhaul of Medicare could be on the way as Labor looks to make it cheaper for people to see a GP. The federal government tonight hinting it's working on new health policies to take to the election in a cost of living blitz that will take aim at
out then.
Expensive to see a GP.
There's more we want to do to deliver more doctors, more bulk billing and more urgent care.
Despite a Labor incentive program, fewer doctors are bulk billing patients than they were a year ago. The government now considering expanding concessions and a potential overhaul of the way benefits are paid in a bid to encourage longer consults.
More and more patients are living with chronic and complex health conditions and they need more complex care in the community. And the way that Medicare is designed, there are disincentives to spending more time with your GP.
In the lead up to an election, a focus on health not only gives Labor the chance to pitch cost of living relief to voters, but also an opportunity to resuscitate a familiar line of attack.
You just have to look at Peter Dutton's record as Health Minister, which frankly is pretty scary. He tried to abolish bulk billing altogether.
This is complete nonsense coming from Labor. It's another Medicare campaign.
But one Labor thinks will cut through. Liz Daniels, NBN News.
340 people died on New South Wales roads in 2024, the same toll as the year before, putting road safety at the top of the state government's agenda for 2025.
So these are concerning numbers. These numbers are too high.
We want to drive that down towards zero because every death on our roads is one too many.
Speed was the biggest killer last year, while 24 more people died because of fatigue-related crashes. Police have released CCTV as they investigate a blaze which destroyed a yacht at Summerland Point on September 4 last year. The footage is of a silver Toyota Echo and two men who police say were seen on the waterfront and around other vessels just before the fire broke out. The Kurri Kurri gas power plant's cost has now more than doubled to over $1 billion and construction is still underway. Exactly when the plant will produce power has also been pushed back, but the government is still supporting the project.
Touted as an answer to keep the lights on when Liddell shut down, the Hunter Power project in Kurri Kurri hasn't gone as first promised by Scott Morrison.
This is an unmitigated disaster that we and our children will be paying for the next 30 years.
In 2021, the coalition estimated it would cost $610 million. By 2023, that increased by 60%. Now, Snowy Hydro has conceded it's up to $1.3 billion, more than twice the original estimate. But analysts say the total price tag could be higher. And that's because connecting the plant to gas requires a new pipeline, estimated at another $450 million.
When you include $450 million on top of the $1.3 billion they're disclosing, and then you add the financing costs, the land costs, the executive costs, you're talking about a total cost of over $2 billion.
Liddell closed in 2023, but by that time the Kurri gas plant was pushed to December 2024. Now its two generators are not expected to produce any power until April and June this year. And when it does come online, it'll be powered by diesel, with plans for gas and hydrogen pushed further away. Snowy Hydro blames adverse weather for the timeline and cost blowouts. But NBN News has spoken with workers from the site who claim the project has been plagued with poor construction management and serious safety issues.
Dropped objects, we've seen little explosions occur, not so much flammable, but also discharges from high pressure equipment.
The union represents 125 workers on the site. Some workers even claim people who raise safety issues are being made redundant.
We are seeing shortcuts on the job.
Snowy Hydro says it received positive feedback following a December safe work inspection, and despite cost increases, the project remains a good investment. Energy Minister Chris Bowen has backed the project, saying it's part of the transition to renewables. But the opposition says Labor's handling has been a fiasco. Tony Ambragetti, NBN News.
Empty shop fronts transforming into booming businesses. Honeysuckle is changing face. A boost in foot traffic over the holiday period is expected to continue into 2025 as new tenants breathe new life into the area.
Businesses buzzing, drinks flowing. Honeysuckle is making a comeback. New restaurants like Ocean drawing people harbourside.
This is our fourth time. It's only been open 2 weeks.
Newcomer Steak and Grain, meanwhile, can barely keep up with demand.
Our wines are running out because it's our second week opening, but yeah, we've been getting good response from the customers.
And celebrations continued today. Cheers. After 400 turned out to Moneypenny over New Year's Eve.
We are definitely busier than it used to be.
Since April, the Little National Hotel has helped drive foot traffic. All 181 rooms booked out since December 29.
Honeysuckle just keeps developing and there's more on the cards. So you would see Monty just here has opened. It's about 8 weeks in and it's seeing some really encouraging results.
New retail stores also benefiting.
I think there's a lot of growth happening in this area with the new venues coming in.
But more business means more hands needed. Finding staff during the holiday period, though, hasn't been easy.
We would have probably liked to have more, but we had about 6 or 7.
I've never seen the youth unemployment figures so low. There's not a big pool of people to draw on.
While some shop fronts along the harbour are still vacant, Business Hunter is hopeful word is getting out that honeysuckle businesses are booming.
Nothing breeds success like success, and hopefully, that's a signal to other businesses that are thinking about getting involved in some of these new areas and getting involved in the hospitality sector that where we do have the right conditions.
Risa Utama, NBN News.
Marine Rescue Lake Macquarie has again been named the busiest base in the state. Its control centre responding to almost 600 calls for help in 2024, from boat capsizes to engine problems. The base now adding a $680,000 rescue boat to its fleet.
And it's perfect for the lake, but it's also capable of going offshore. The previous boat that we had some issues offshore.
Boaties are reminded to log their trips with Marine Rescue via the app or their radio. Taking a quick look at the temps across the region today, and it was an overcast one, 22 the top at Lake Macquarie, 23 in Newcastle. You're watching NBN News. Still ahead, a restaurant brawl escalates into a shooting spree in Montenegro. Children among those killed. A man arrested and a woman dead after falling from a balcony in Sydney.
I want to be a doggy daycare person. I love drama. I've been in a play before, but there wasn't that much dialogue in it.
We won't be beaten on back-to-school prices with our Price Beat guarantee. Make bigger things happen this school year at Officeworks.
Could I do the Lucky Deluxe Ultra Wash, please?
Add some thrill to your wait with the thrill of a $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Keno Go. Download the app now.
If you're on regular medication for chronic conditions like high blood pressure, cholesterol or diabetes, get your prescriptions at Chemist Warehouse and save more money every year. Look out for our price list or head online to see how much you'll save. Chemist Warehouse, discounting prescriptions every day.
Nothing is hotter than a car sitting in the sun. Introducing the Brella Shade, the amazing windshield umbrella that quickly opens and closes and helps keep your car surfaces up to 17 degrees cooler. Crafted from premium metallic fabric, Brella Shade blocks up to 80% of the sun's heat from your windshield and blocks up to 99% of the sun's harmful UV rays. Buy now at these leading retailers.
Feeling like your energy provider is ripping you off? You could save hundreds of dollars by switching to Energy Locals. Save with rates up to 25% less than the reference price and make your everyday a lot more affordable. Switch to our award-winning energy and enjoy great rates that help lower your bills, carbon offsets on all your usage and friendly Aussie-based support. Start getting the fair deal you deserve. Visit energylocals.com.au today to start saving.
Energy, locals.
Experience Sri Lanka and all-inclusive Maldives from $3,299 per person, including flights. Visit Sri Lanka on a small group tour, then relax at a tropical Maldives resort. Search Tripadeal now.
At the Plush Summer Sale, save 50% off the Ryder leather sofa, now $19.95, or the Aiden fabric sofa, only $14.95. That's half price, only at Plush.
Think Sofas, think Plush.
A man is being questioned by police tonight after his partner fell from his 7th-storey unit at Parramatta and died. They were heard arguing beforehand, detectives revealing an AVO was in place to protect the man.
Falling more than 30 metres, there was no saving the 39-year-old woman. Police say she was hanging from the balcony of her partner's 7th-storey apartment on River Road West.
Obviously, how she came to be there is a key factor.
Witnesses claiming the couple was arguing moments before the woman fell around 1:40 this morning.
You like a single yob sort of thing?
Yeah, it's pretty shocking to see it, especially outside your own building.
But the call for help wasn't the first made to police last night. At 11:45, a 000 call was received. There was no conversation, only background noise. After 2 failed attempts by the operator to call back, a man finally answered 2 minutes later, assuring the officer everything was fine. Still, police told the 40-year-old they would be attending his home. Around 2 hours later, while officers were on their way, a passerby called 000.
Reports of a female person hanging from a balcony. Whether she was trying to hold on or crawl back up, that will form part of our lines of inquiry.
1 minute later, when police arrived, she had already fallen. Witnesses claim the woman's partner immediately ran to help.
He was saying she's not breathing, she's not breathing.
Others say they saw the couple on the street earlier in the night.
There was some fighting and arguments which were going in between those two people on the street. Some people tried to intervene, but they told that the guy was not listening to them.
Police say there had been previous interactions with the couple who were living at separate addresses. There was an AVO in place for the protection of the 40-year-old man. However, his partner was not breaching the order by being at his home. The 40-year-old was arrested and questioned by detectives through an interpreter. The homicide squad and forensics scouring the apartment complex for much of the day. What exactly happened tonight, still a mystery. At Parramatta, Hayley Francis, NBN News.
2 children are among 10 people killed in a mass shooting in Montenegro. The gunman opened fire inside a restaurant after a brawl before turning the weapon on himself.
What should have been the scene of celebrations, now a crime scene. Police gather outside a restaurant in the Montenegrin town of Cetinje, where a gunman had opened fire. The alleged shooter, 45-year-old Ako Martinovic, specialist police units leading a manhunt as residents in the historic capital were urged to remain indoors. At least 4 others were injured and rushed to hospital in the capital, Podgorica. Montenegro's Prime Minister visiting them, where he called the incident a terrible tragedy and declared 3 days of national mourning. It's understood there'd been a brawl inside the restaurant before the suspect drew a pistol and opened fire, gunning down 2 children on the street as he left. The motive not yet known, police ruling out a clash between rival gangs. It's the country's worst mass shooting after 11 were killed in 2022. A country with a deeply rooted gun culture, but where incidents like this are comparatively rare. In London, Edward Godfrey, NBN News.
Venezuela's Supreme Court has fined TikTok 16 million Australian dollars for allegedly failing to control viral challenges in which 3 children took part and died. At least 2 of the children died after challenges involving inhaling toxic substances or taking anxiety medication and not sleeping. The magistrate said the money from the fine would go to compensation. Jocelyn Wildenstein, the woman dubbed Catwoman by the tabloids because of her extreme plastic surgery, has died aged 84. The Swiss socialite died in her sleep on New Year's Eve. Her longtime partner posted this video to Instagram of the couple on holiday in Paris just days before her death. Coming up next, fireworks chaos in Germany sees nearly 40 police injured. Tributes in the country music capital as giant.
For 20 years, you've been hindering this investigation.
I can't remember what's real and what I've imagined.
The brand new season of the Stan original series Black Snow, now streaming only on Stan.
Rich lost his gut, but kept his love for sports. Brett lost 29 kilos and saved heaps on lunch. Mark shook the weight and got his mates on board. Jake lost weight on the go, while Matt swapped overweight for poolside swagger. We've helped more than 2 million Aussies shake the weight, and we can do the same for you. The Man Shake, now with up to 50% off at themanshake.com.au.
The King Summer Sale is on now. Save up to 50% on Australian-designed, award-winning furniture. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King? Hurry, sale on now.
Oh! Get 2 designer pairs, no gap, with selected health funds.
We have the same. I mean, tickets are just so like...
Must have gone to Specsavers.
At Nurse Next Door Home Care Services, we believe in making lives better. And no matter your age or your ability, you can stay in your own home, on your own terms, because there is no place like home. Call now to learn how our caregivers and nurses can help support you.
Total Tools Rutherford is now open at 366 New England Highway, Rutherford. We've got all the world's biggest tool brands. With access to over 60,000 tools and accessories, Total Tools Rutherford has every tool for every trade at low prices guaranteed.
Harvey Norman clearance on now. Hot deal on the versatile Asher 5-piece outdoor corner lounge setting, just $14.99. Relax this summer with an epic deal on the Blake 4-piece outdoor lounge, only $12.99. Best prices guaranteed at Harvey Norman now.
New Year's Eve celebrations in Germany have descended into chaos, with 5 people killed in amateur fireworks incidents and dozens of others injured. Hundreds were arrested, with police alleging emergency services personnel were targeted.
Mayhem on the streets of Berlin. Fireworks and flares aimed at a bus, forcing the driver to take cover. In another part of the city, a large number of explosions, causing glass to shatter and people to flee. These videos posted online claiming to show some of the New Year's Eve chaos German officials have condemned. Berlin police revealing 37 officers were injured, 1 seriously and taken to hospital. As many as 400 people detained by police. Firefighters responding to 1,800 incidents in Berlin alone. The use of amateur fireworks permitted on New Year's Eve turning deadly too. 5 killed in accidents, including a 45-year-old man handling what local media described as a firework bomb. Children among the injured in Munich, where one blast sparked a fire at an apartment building. Extra police had been deployed in anticipation of this kind of behaviour, which has happened before. There had been calls for a nationwide ban on private fireworks. Those calls now only expected to grow louder. In London, Edward Godfrey, NBN News.
A fireworks explosion near Honolulu in Hawaii has killed 3 people and critically injured more than 20 others. The fireworks fell on their side after they were lit just before midnight, triggering the explosion. It's been described as one of the city's worst accidents in 30 years. A balloon drop on New Year's Eve has gone terribly wrong in the US, bringing down a Lego display onto a crowd at an arcade in Massachusetts. Firefighters say a person pulled too hard on the display, injuring 10 people, 5 of them children. Most of them suffered cuts and scrapes. The Ivory Coast has become the latest African nation to ask troops from France, its former coloniser, to leave. The country's president made the announcement in an end-of-year national address, calling the move a modernisation of its army. Almost 1,000 French soldiers are currently stationed in the Ivory Coast. Supermarkets are calling for harsher restrictions on the sale of illegal tobacco, saying they've suffered major losses and been forced to axe jobs. IGA says it's lost $150 million in legal cigarette sales in the past 3 years.
The bad guys are winning. I mean, it's the wrong end of town that's making all this money illegally.
Woolworths reported a 19% year-on-year drop in tobacco sales. Screening for gut and bowel issues has topped the number of claims for hospital treatment, according to new Medibank data. Here's health reporter Gabriella Rogers.
One of the country's largest health insurers, Medibank, has revealed its top 10 hospital claims over the past year. The most common admission was for gut and bowel problems. Gastroscopy and colonoscopy procedures topped the list. That's when a camera is used to investigate internally what is causing symptoms. Experts say the procedures are very good at investigating issues such as irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, and for detecting cancer.
The prevalence of these procedures doesn't surprise me because it really reflects the fact that there's quite a lot of patients presenting to GPs with gastrointestinal complaints relating either to the stomach or to the bowel. And of course, we also have a preventive focus for gastric and gullet cancers and also bowel cancer.
Also making the top list of claims, orthopaedic surgery, followed by traditional cancer treatments and renal dialysis, which topped the list in 2023.
Today marks 2 years since the deadly SeaWorld helicopters crash. The two
personality overnight. In Gingin Hospital, Queensland, aged 91.
Nobody has ever done what Chad does. When he started out, he was totally unique. And when he finished up, he was also totally unique.
Breaking into the country music scene in 1952 as runner-up of radio talent show Australia's Amateur Hour. Morgan later signed with record label Regal Zonophone, releasing 18 albums and touring extensively, including on The Slim Dusty Show.
The Claxton boys were on the prowl at a local band.
He entertained people right up until his death.
In his latter years, he used to go to nursing homes and entertain them. He was always out to help you and do whatever he can for you. He had a very kind heart.
Morgan's death has been felt especially hard in Tamworth, just 2 weeks out from the Country Music Festival. Flowers laid at his bronze bust in Bicentennial Park.
Chad was one of those people that would be here every festival. He can definitely be credited as being one of those pioneers that really got behind it and helped make the place what it is today.
Morgan was inducted into the Hands of Fame in 1979 and the Roll of Renown in 1987. Tamworth Country Music Festival manager Barry Harley saying Morgan will be deeply missed. From golden guitar great Troy Cassadaly, Morgan was a true country icon who was one of the funniest comedy minds I've ever witnessed on stage. The last show is over, old mate, and the curtains are now closed, always leaving them wanting more.
For now I have become the strangest case you ever saw.
Alex Land, NBN News.
The Duchess of Sussex is back on social media. Meghan posting this video to her Instagram account on New Year's Day. She's captured running along a beach and writing 2025 into the sand. She deactivated the account back in 2018. Revheads have rolled into Canberra for the start of Summer Nats. Roaring engines and decked out cars taking over the city's streets today to kick off the event's 37th year.
The money doesn't tell the story. It's the passion and the time and the love that tells the story of these cars, but the money is pretty considerable as well.
130,000 people are expected to attend over the next 4 days. And a lucky escape for this dog stranded on thin ice in the US. Brooklyn, the sheepadoodle, wandered onto a frozen New Jersey lake, but then was too scared to head back. A nearby resident used a drone with a piece of chicken attached to try to lure the pup off until it got spooked. A police officer eventually secured his rescue. That's just all too much for him, I think. Montanna Clare is here now with Spot. Montana, a big change for the SCG test.
Good evening, Tyson. Mitchell Marsh has been dropped for tomorrow's series decider against India. Coming up, the ruthless move from selectors who have called up a 31-year-old journeyman. Turmoil in India's camp as speculation swirls around skipper Rohit Sharma, and how Alex de Minaur made this young fan's night at the United Cup.
The King Summer Sale is on now. Save up to 50% on Australian-designed, award-winning furniture. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King? Hurry, sale on now.
At Repco, we get it. The tougher the track, the better the weekend. After that, hose it down with a Karcher K2 Premium VPS for just $140 and 25% off Turtle Wax car care. Repco gets it going.
Ooh, Dad's Vindaloo giving you heartburn? Zantac for all-day heartburn relief that starts to work in 30 minutes. Zantac.
Hey, bro. Oh, no. I think I'm ready to quit. Solid.
At Carpet Call, we're the experts in the trade, but don't take our word for it. Hear it straight from our satisfied customers.
I'm very happy with the quality. Thank you, Carpet Call, for the great customer service. There was great communication provided with the purchase and installation of my shutters.
Great service, easy process, and very nice staff. Makes a big difference.
Range, quality, and price. And that's why Carpet Call are
The experts in the trade.
Could I do the Lucky Deluxe Ultra Wash, please?
Add some thrill to your wait with the thrill of a $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Keno Go. Download the app now.
Introducing BladeMaid, the fast, easy, no-mess way to clean your ceiling fans, no ladder needed. BladeMaid lifts and captures the dust on all sides of the fan blade at once, and the handle extends to reach up high. Buy now at these leading retailers.
At HV Aluminium, order a Fleximum patio cover screen enclosure or pool enclosure before the 23rd and pay no labour cost. Plus, there's no labour cost on the Paradise Room or the Eclipse opening roof, but only until the 23rd of this month at HV Aluminium.
For student devices, see the experts at Harvey Norman. Laptop prices start from just $348. Save $530 on the latest Acer Swift Go Copilot PC. Or save $350 on the versatile and powerful HP Envy X360. Best prices guaranteed at Harvey Norman now.
The Alfresco Outdoors and Heating Boxing Day sale starts now. 30 to 60% off outdoor furniture, 10% off the entire range of Weber barbecues, and everything's in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Boxing Day bargains on right now at Alfresco Outdoors and Heating, now in 5 big locations.
The Plush summer sale is on now with up to 50% off a huge range of leather and fabric sofas. Save up to 50% off at the Plush summer sale. On now. 44 showrooms Australia-wide.
Think so fast, think Plush.
The Border Gavaskar Trophy is on the line and Australian selectors have run out of patience, dropping Mitch Marsh and calling up debutant Bo Webster for the Sydney Test. India is on the verge of its own selection shock, set to axe underperforming captain Rohit Sharma.
It's a this one. The opener has loved the limelight.
My experience of dealing and working with Sam has been a very quiet, reserved personality and certainly not an extrovert. But obviously what we saw in the test match is that he absolutely is a showman.
Uncertainty surrounds the Indian team and its beleaguered captain, Rohit Sharma, a no-show for the pre-match media conference, replaced by coach Gautam Gambhir.
The thing is, everything is fine with Rohit, and I don't think so it's anything traditional. I think the head coach is there, that should be fine, that should be good enough.
And when the team started training, the skipper wasn't in the slips cordon.
As I just said, that we're going to have a look at the wicket and probably announce our playing 11 tomorrow.
In Sydney, Sam Jordan, NBN News.
But is India really ready to drop its captain? With more, here's Sam Jordan.
It's an extraordinary thought that a country will drop their captain mid-series, but that is what India will do tomorrow morning, and the statistics tell the story. Rohit Sharma has averaged only 6 runs with the bat so far this summer, and under his leadership, they've won just 1 of their last 7 test matches, and that only win came under Jasprit Bumrah in Perth. Of course, there is also infighting within the camp. India media has reported that there are deep divisions with the touring nation. One last curveball in a series that served up so many twists and turns.
Glenn Maxwell has defied age and gravity to take one of the great Big Bash catches. The 26-year-old leapt over the boundary rope, caught the ball in one hand, threw it back into the field of play before hitting the ground, then ran back over the rope and grabbed the ball again before it hit the turf. The catch helped restrict the heat to 149, which the Stars chased down with 5 wickets to spare. In the earlier game, the Sixers suffered their first defeat of the season, Hobart winning by 50 runs. A tennis career constantly interrupted by injury is finally blossoming for Kim Birrell, who is about to become our highest-ranked woman. She's achieved the feat by booking her place in the quarterfinals of the Brisbane International.
Since the retirement of Ash Barty, Australian fans have been desperate for another local woman to make a summer splash. Kim Birrell has plenty to do to match the feats of her fellow Queenslander, but she's making her mark, downing Russian Anastasia Potapova in straight sets.
And if it's not the best week of her life, it's very close.
The win will propel Birrell into the top 100 for the first time, making her Australia's highest-ranked woman.
I'm not exactly sure where I'm sitting, but I'm sure it's not that far into the top 100. Yeah, I have much bigger goals than just reaching the top 100. I think I want to be comfortably inside the top 100.
Jordan Thompson is flying the flag for Australia in the men's draw. He faces a quarter-final showdown with Grigor Dimitrov. The United Cup is now truly living up to its name. US stars Coco Gauff and Taylor Fritz among those arriving in Sydney, which is the sole host city for the remainder of the tournament. Australia missed out on the quarterfinals, but Alex de Minaur delivered something special. Spurred on by his home crowd, he put the injury frustrations of 2024 behind him.
Come on. You can't do that, can you? You bet he can.
I tell you what, no other place I would rather be than right here, right now with you guys. This was the old me. I've got my legs back, everybody. I'm back.
A demon on the court, but a saint off it.
I love you! I love you!
Making the night of this young fan. Chris Hodgkinson, NBN News.
Melbourne United is expecting a hostile reception from the fans in Adelaide when they face the 36ers for the first time since the wild brawl at John Cain Arena in November. But Matthew Delvedova says they're not preparing for round two.
It's always a great atmosphere to play in. You know, it's always a tough road game. They're extremely explosive offensively. They've got a lot of weapons.
36ers import Montrezl Harrell was suspended for 4 games over the brawl and has struggled since returning, benched in their most recent game. After the break, Knights prop Leo Thompson bound for Belmore, and the Gunners fire back with force against Brentford.
The Nick Scali January sale is on now with everything reduced across the entire range. Up to 50% off everything during the January sale. On now at Nick Scali.
I'm off, fellas. You're not going to drive, are you?
Yeah, no, I'll get a ride home.
Let's all say yeah, nah to drink driving.
This is Jules, and this is... Jules didn't think she could love the Topster any more than she already does.
How can I love you any more, T1
Until she got everyday pet insurance from Woolworths, protection for T-Boy and 10% off a Woolworths shop every month. So she saves hundreds a year on groceries. It's pet insurance
that loves you back.
Make your insurance more rewarding. Make every day count.
If you're on regular medication for chronic conditions like high blood pressure, cholesterol or diabetes, get your prescriptions at Chemist Warehouse and save more money every year. Look out for our price list or head online to see how much you'll save. Chemist Warehouse, discounting prescriptions every day.
Whether it's spilling the tea, finding an hour free,
Introducing JetHawk, the powerful portable cordless pressure washer for cleaning everywhere. Clean stubborn dirt off your driveway, gutter and decking. Connect it to your hose, or you can clean so much more without having to use an outdoor tap. JetHawk uses water siphoning technology to draw in water from any source, anywhere, and delivers up to 5 times the pressure of a garden hose. Plus, JetHawk comes with attachments to clean cars, caravans and more. Buy now at Australia Post. Also available at Global Shop Direct.
Get ready for school at Mathers with 25% off the best school shoe brands, including Clarks, Rock and Colorado. Mathers, the school shoe fit experts.
After 50 successful years in business, both Parks Bricks and Pavers and Potts Removals are for sale. Owners are retiring. For expressions of interest, visit our website at pottsgroup.com.au.
Get up to $4,000 cash back when you switch your existing home loan or take out a new one with IMB. Get a great low rate, save on fees and get up to $4,000 cash back. IMB Bank, right by you.
This report brought to you by Cox Mowers. Cox, proudly engineered Aussie tough for over 70 years.
It's reported Leo Thompson has decided to join the Bulldogs in 2026. The prop turned down an offer to stay in Newcastle last month. The contract at the Bulldogs could be as long as 4 years and worth less money than offered by the Knights. Arsenal fell behind after 13 minutes against Brentford, but the Gunners fired back with force. They scored 3 unanswered goals to secure a 3-1 victory. They're now second on the Premier League ladder, trailing leaders Liverpool by 6 points. But the Reds have a game in hand. A blow for Sydney FC ahead of Saturday's game in Newcastle. The club confirming Brazilian import Douglas Costa will miss 6 to 8 weeks with another hamstring injury.
I think he was enjoying himself. I thought he had a really good first half against Melbourne Victory, and I thought we got him into a really good place physically, but these things happen in football. He's probably as frustrated as I am.
Former Manchester United star Juan Mata has scored his first A-League goal, but it wasn't enough to inspire the Wanderers to victory. MacArthur winning 3-2 to move into second. The Mariners have held their final session at home on the Central Coast before their next match against the Roar in Brisbane tomorrow night. It'll be the side's third match in less than a week, and coach Mark Jackson says that's a good thing.
Players like to play more than train, so as long as we can recover well physically and get the team prepared from that point of view, then we welcome the games coming thick and fast.
The Mariners are hoping to end their 4-game winless run. It's been almost a month since Jets defender Natasha Pryor made her international debut for the Matildas. She hopes to retain her spot in the squad this year, and knows success at Newcastle is a good place to start. 2 goals in 3 games for the Matildas. Tash Pryor's start in green and gold couldn't have gone any better.
Great header, Tash Pryor. 2-2.
The whirlwind campaign made even more special with her father Spencer Pryor in the stands.
We were joking he was kind of like a groupie. He came to Brisbane and Gold Coast and then to the Melbourne games.
Spencer was a former assistant to current interim head coach Tom Samani more than a decade ago.
I remember making eye contact with Dad during that moment of just before going on, so it was, yeah, honestly just incredible having him there. And feeling, I guess, very thankful that for his journey and my journey have kind of linked up.
Pryor has had to jump a few hurdles on her journey to the national team, but she wouldn't change a thing. Now she has new goals to tick off in 2025.
Making the She Believes Cup, which is pretty soon, it's February. And I guess staying around the national team would be great. And then from a Jets perspective, I'd like to make finals again, for sure.
The defender hopes to use her recent experiences to boost the Jets for the remainder of the A-League women's season.
I'm quite calm when I'm playing, and maybe, I guess, stepping up that urgency of playing and trying to bring that back into the league, whether that's, speed of play, being a bit more of a leader talking wise and kind of guiding the younger ones.
Newcastle desperate to add a 3rd win to their season tally when they take on Western United away from home tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'd like to win. Yeah, I'd really like to win a game. Hopefully we can put a few goals into the back of the net and keep them out of ours, so fingers crossed.
Lake Macquarie's Toby Gray has been called into the Sydney Thunder squad ahead of tomorrow night's match against the Scorchers in Perth. The young leg spinner made his Big Bash debut at a similar time last year against the Sixers, taking a wicket with his 3rd ball. Newcastle's Jason Sanger won't travel after suffering a biceps injury. Tyson, that is our look at sport.
Good stuff. Thanks, Montana. Well, an overcast day across the Hunter, but there is a few showers on the way for some parts. I'll have all the weather details after the break.
The
Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Recruiting from the Aussie sidelines.
Feeling as though I could take it on.
A current affair next.
Harvey Norman clearance on now. Save $60 on the Nespresso Virtuo Pop Solo coffee machine, now $98. Samsung fridge with beverage centre, save $700. Samsung.
We have the same.
The Subaru sale event is on. With
Total Tools Rutherford is now open at 366 New England Highway, Rutherford. We've got all the world's biggest tool brands. With access to over 60,000 tools and accessories, Total Tools Rutherford has every tool for every trade at low prices guaranteed.
Add some thrill to your wait with the thrill of a $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Keno Go. Download the app now.
I want to be a doggy daycare person.
I love drama. I've been in a play before, but there wasn't that much dialogue in it.
We won't be beaten on back-to-school prices with our Price Beat guarantee. Make bigger things happen this school year at Officeworks.
It's Tank World's up to 50% off clearance sale. Save up to 50% off our entire range of slimline tanks and Tank World pumps from 330 to 5,000 litres. All stock must go 10 days only. Think Tank World, 1-800 68 69 70.
Harvey Norman clearance on now. Great value in the Coro fabric modular sofa. Versatile design, just $2,499. Epic deal on the Kyoto 5-piece round dining setting with extendable table, only $14.99. Best prices guaranteed at Harvey Norman now.
At HV Aluminium, order a Fleximum patio cover screen enclosure or pool enclosure before the 23rd and pay no labour cost. Plus, there's no labour cost on the Paradise Room or the Eclipse opening roof. But only until the 23rd of this month at HV Aluminium.
Well, the run of fine weather has come to an end across the Hunter, with the clouds rolling in along with some showers and cooler temps along the coast. Taking a look at the satellite, and that cloud band is stretching along most of the east coast. A series of troughs is generating heavy rain for parts of WA and North Queensland. Tomorrow we should see those showers intensify across northeast New South Wales and eastern Queensland, with the chance of thunderstorms, and it will be quite humid as well. An overcast day across the Hunter with isolated showers and storms as well. 23 degrees at Nobbies, 23 also at Lake Macquarie and Nora Head. Maitland reached 25 degrees, so too did Williamtown. Singleton 26 the top there, and Scone topped out at 31 degrees. Tomorrow, similar conditions on the way with the slight chance of some showers, possibly an afternoon thunderstorm as well. 25 at Nelson Bay and Newcastle, 28 the top expected at Wallsend, 27 at Cessnock and Maitland. Singleton should reach 30 degrees, 31 expected at Scone, Merriwa and Muswellbrook. Coastal waters information now sees 1.5 metres with a 1.5 metre swell off the Hunter coast. The sun is up at about 10 to 6 and it will set at 6 minutes past 8. The morning low is at 5 to 5 and again in the afternoon just after 10 past 6. Take a look at the 7-day outlook now for Newcastle, and a few showers around tomorrow, 25 degrees, but it should fine up and warm up as well over the weekend. 34 the top expected on Sunday, even warmer on Monday, a top of 36 degrees. A cool change should come through on Tuesday, dropping temps down to around 27 degrees. Scone will be hot for the next few days, warming up to 39 on Sunday, 40 the top expected on Monday, down to 32 32 on Tuesday, and for Gosford, showers likely tomorrow, 26 degrees, 34 and sunny on Sunday, 35 the top on Monday. The shares now, and it's been a topsy-turvy start to the year for the ASX. After opening higher, it briefly went into the red before ending the day in positive territory. The All Ordinaries up 0.5% at the close. Bargain hunters chased mining companies, Fortescue up 1.8%. Our dollar is sitting at around 62 US cents, its lowest level for 2 years. And finally tonight, Mother Nature has kicked off 2025 with a dazzling display. The Aurora Australis lighting up South Australia with vibrant hues of pink and green. Clear skies and magnetic storm combining to make the colourful show, which was also spotted in parts of New South Wales, Victoria, Western Australia and Tasmania. And that is NBN News for this Thursday. A current affair is up next, and we'll have updates throughout the evening as well. Thanks for your company from all the team here. Good night.